Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Otter Rhythm Spitting Seeds edition. I'm your host, Jamie, and we got Donovan and we got Eli. Welcome in, everybody.
Let's
Thought
go.
you were gonna play that intro song for a second time. I was like, if one's not good, two's even better. Hit the shots. I don't have any
Right?
booze tonight though, man. It's Tuesday. It's baseball. We got
What?
you, me, Donovan. Oh my god,
Yes. Oh, good
so
God.
excited.
Let's go.
I am excited. Well, if anybody hasn't noticed anything different, maybe they
Yeah.
should, Actually, I'm in the middle. And the two
That's
guys
where
on the
he
outside,
always wanted to be.
right? The two guys actually, both you guys are actually wearing hats tonight, and I actually buzzed my head. Look at that,
Yeah.
Clean
Clean it
cut.
right?
up.
Hell yeah.
All the time you look respectable.
I gotta be, man. I mean, I'm the host of this show. I want to get that, best man of the host show or whatever, the best looks, whatever hell you want to call it. So Jared's ready, and well, hey Jared,
Oh,
welcome in
yeah.
already, man. So he asked, did you drop Burns yet? Yes, I'll continue, but this is a dumb, dumb bit all season. No, Jared.
Jared was waiting on that under 2 minutes into the show, and he's
Yeah.
already throwing that out there. Trying to
Am
throw a
I-
little bait, huh?
Is that a table leg bot out there that just
Right, Jared. Next thing you know, we're gonna call him Jared the Bot.
Jared
That's
the
gonna be
Bot?
that's gonna be his new nickname.
Swing bada swing.
So Jared, you can actually ask Eli that because he has burns. I don't.
Yeah, you direct that question towards me, big boy.
Yeah, you ask him that. So before we get too far in here, before we get all crazy up in here, make sure you guys actually join our Discord. And it's an open season. Football, I mean basketball and all that stuff's kind of over. But I don't know. I think I might delete some of that stuff. Well, I might keep a few channels for basketball and whatnot in there just for a little baseball talk. But yeah, football is gonna be our huge one. So we're gonna be doing some football stuff in there this little bit in the off season, a little bit. But yeah, baseball is kind of our secondary a little bit. We're still kind of new, kind of raw yet. So everybody just hang tight, and everything will get better. That's for sure.
I got some big news. Fresh off the block here. I am accepted into the Dynasty Sports Life, which is hosted by Jesse Severe. I am accepted into his 4-sport keeper league. So we're having a draft that will start in July. That'll be 100 or what was it? Let me pull that up. Like 1,000 picks. So
That's insane.
every sport at once. So baseball, football, basketball, and hockey. I'm partnering up with a Canadian, so I'll get my hockey side done there, and it's going to be interesting. I've never done anything like that, so
That is kind of
we
interesting.
may need a hockey channel.
Yeah, maybe. But yes, as always, Eli, where can they find us?
Oh, well, Donovan had so much good news there. Some of it kind of dripped onto me. I got that drip going on. You know what? We're available on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're kind of moving up in the world. I actually fixed my mic tonight, so I might sound a little better. Jay's got a clean cut. Donovan's over there looking sharp as ever. If you can't get enough of the three of us on this stream here, yeah, go and check us out a couple other places. And maybe some football will be back in the future. I know Jay was talking possibly Thursday or Friday, trying to do a live stream, just reaction video to the draft. As you guys know, I do long routes on Thursday, so I'm not sure. Maybe I could swing that. I'll let him know, and then he would post something, obviously. But football's on the way. Draft is this week. But you know what? We're gonna keep rolling with the baseball because you know what? I'm loving the season so far, guys. Steals are up. The freaking Pirates are the second best record in the league. So I mean, there's some cool storylines going on. So yeah, we're gonna keep at least probably through May. We're gonna be running the baseball. So
Got that right.
only the beginning.
Damn right, you got that right. Yes, sirree. But anyways, looks like we got a few questions already.
Oh, all right, bring
Yeah,
them on.
look at that. Zach Yellen, he's actually new. I actually got him tossed away from Facebook onto our Discord. Got him in all 3 of our Discords, which is awesome. So Zach Yellen is asking, how do we all feel about JD Martinez?
What platform, I suppose, and is it points? Is it head to head? Is it roto? Is it that's some fairly info and I'm
8-man league. I didn't even know they made those.
Hey, 8-man leagues are, they're pretty small. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, well, he's in a points league because from what I've been seeing, and
yeah, he's got is he on ESPN?
Yeah, he's on that ESPN. Yep, he's and he's actually, it's his first year playing fantasy baseball too as well. So we'll have
popping
to
that cherry, Zach. We're popping that cherry.
Yeah.
Ramrod.
Yes. Well, there's good things and bad things about some platforms. I know he made a post in a CBS forum, and they pretty much ate him alive. And I'm like,
Yeah.
he reached out to me. I'm like, dude, come over to our Discord, and you'll get treated a lot better, and you'll be welcomed as more of a family guy, and we'll teach you along the way, man.
Damn right.
No,
don't let those fools treat you like that. Come on over. Jay will treat you right, and occasionally I pop my head on Discord. I mean, we're the waters are warm over here. Okay,
Yes.
you don't need to tread lightly. So yeah, ask away. But I'm just getting back in the flow too. As these guys know, I haven't done any fantasy baseball or really watched a ton of baseball probably since 2017, 2018. So I'm almost in the same boat. I'm learning these guys too. So yeah, you made a good decision.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Guess who's here? Sound Money.
Oh, Sound Money.
That's Bob.
That's Bob.
Yeah, he needs more sunglasses. Hey, Bob, I thought you had a green screen going on or something. You made some green screen or something going on.
So back to JD Martinez and an 8-man points.
Is that better?
Hey, look at that.
What's going on here? Less yelling.
Like one of those old school clowns that has a bunch of like whoopee cushions and rabbits and stuff.
Yeah, no more yelling for Zach. JD Martinez in an 8-man league. Well, he had a home run on what day is it today? I don't even know what day it is today. Today is Tuesday. Sunday he had a home run. So I mean, he's going to be kind of a little up and down. And, in an 8-man league, if you have something out on the waiver wire that's hot right now, you pick it up. I mean, JD Martinez, he's the number 2 in his position, but his position's DH. And so unless you have 2 utility spots, like, I don't know that JD Martinez is a must hold. He's 35 years old now. He only swings a bat. So if they, right. Yeah, I see Zach there. That is DH. So what is he saying? There are a lot of options on the wire. I'm just asking, would I regret dropping? Yeah. So as if he's only a designated hitter, you will not regret dropping him.
Well, for a smaller like points league like that, yes. I mean, in points leagues, some batter. I mean, there will be some batters that will help you, but if you think about it, and I mentioned before that most pitchers in points categories are going to be your target for a lot of that stuff, and batters are kind of secondary because you might only get like a 1 or 2 points tops because not every batter is going to be out there as often. They're not going to get a lot of points. If they're more like a guy who's base steals, then there's little upside there. But overall, when it comes to points league, it's mostly your pitchers that are going to be your main target in leagues like this.
Yeah, I would say you're safe to drop him to stream pitchers.
Yeah.
if you keep him, I mean, he's already. So we were just talking about plate appearances across the league. Most batters that are performing daily are over 100 plate appearances already. You know, what is he at here? 6'8", 96. So he's getting his at bats. Looking right now, he's striking out a lot and not walking a lot. So he's trying to hit the ball. So that could really swing in a hurry. If striking out a lot and not walking a lot. So
it was so good he had to do it again.
I had to do it again.
Hot takes.
Someone turned something on, but
quiet. Wasn't me.
Okay. So yeah, if you have someone on the waiver wire that is intriguing, or if you want to stream a 2-star pitcher, if it's a head-to-head, that's what I would do with them.
What? No, I don't mean to cut you off. What is this? Somebody dropped Clayton Kershaw. What? Oh no!
Hey, sorry, I'll be picking him up. That's for damn
Zach
sure.
Yellen he is trolling. That is Chad. That is not Zach. That is Chad. Chad is trolling the show.
There you go. He must be going to get booze.
Yeah, he must be. But yeah, I mean, other than that, hey, Zach, if you can, please, subscribe.
What the hell are you playing with?
If you can, subscribe and hit that bell, because so when we go live each time, man. Because yeah, we always like the comments, and we like people to subscribe to us.
You gotta keep engaged. But
yes.
what kind of 2-bit operation is that?
Right, my bad. But so today we're gonna talk about we're gonna do some temp checks on a couple guys, and our main focus will be kind of talking about guys with high strikeouts. So that's gonna be our main topic of the show today, guys that are kind of at the top, but they're kind of striking out here and there. And so yeah, we're gonna talk about that and discuss that a little bit. So that's kind of the main topic of our show right now. So that's gonna, I mean, if you think about it, Mac, I'll just give a little hint. We got a little Max Muncy talk, and a few others up in there. So, but yeah, other than that, some actual headline news. We had we had Schwarzer suspension. That was kind of huge.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean,
I forget where I was listening, but they said it the best. Like Max Scherzer almost wanted to get thrown out, but he was doing everything right, and I don't know. Like it's Phil Cuddy threw 3. He's throwing the only 3 pitches out at that time on the year, and I don't know where they're going with this. If rosin is not an allowable substance, why would they put a bag at the mound?
well, yeah, no kidding. That's what I'm saying. Like if I would have, I guess in a way, kind of smart for them to just say, hey, take the suspension, just get it done and over with, instead of trying to fight it. And then, I don't know if they took. I know I heard speculation. I don't know if they were going to take his glove and test it to see if there's any other foreign substance on it or whatever. Yada yada. So I haven't heard.
This is goofy.
Well, I guess from the sounds of it, the same umpire did this to 2 other guys too, as well, and this is the only ump that's done this.
This ump is a clown. He's got low T. He's got some issues he needs to deal with. I love Scherzer. Scherzer is an old school pitcher. I mean, I loved all those guys throughout. Raleigh Fingers, like all these guys throughout the years that were a little dirty. That's how I like my pitchers. And David Wells,
like your women,
he was, back with the Yankees back in the 90s, won a couple World Series. David Wells was backing him up from the article I was reading. And I think a lot of old time guy, Curt Schilling. He reminds me a lot of Curt Schilling, honestly. Scherzer's he's an old school guy. And, he's like Belichick in the NFL. Like, he's a thinking man's pitcher. And this guy's Hall of Fame good. So I know it had, it kind of had to happen. They have to set a precedent, but I'm a fan of Scherzer, have been for years, and I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like him too. I mean, if I had an
I don't know, sometimes
opportunity,
you just gotta roll with what got you there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, just I mean, if that was, he's not like he's taking roids. I mean, it's not that would obviously be a competitive advantage. I don't see this as a competitive advantage. I think it's just ticky tack. But
I think that's what bugs me the most about it. Like, take away the spider tack, take away the enhanced, grip solutions that they're using. That's fine. But, if you're mixing sweat and rosin, if that's truly what it was, which whatever, or if he was using an illegal substance, I don't know. But if you're just using rosin and sweat to get a grip on the ball, like that's 100 years old, man. Like,
that's exactly.
Bullfrog sunscreen. Okay.
You don't think fucking Sandy Koufax wasn't doing that in the 1960s or anybody? Don Drysdale, all these old timers. Like,
once they started bending the pitches, they everybody's looking at crepes. There's pitchers in the past. I can't name any right now.
So somebody says if the hand sticks, the game is fixed.
If the glove fits, you must acquit.
Yeah. You had pitchers, that would put calcifying hardener on their fingernails so they could grip the ball better. Have long fingernails, and they'd file them, and like all these like, what are you going to do? Tell them they have to clip their nails a certain way? Like.
That's kind of getting to be petty. Like, it's like the Yankees telling you can't have a mustache.
They need something because they're throwing a baseball 100 miles an hour at a guy's head. We've gotten 2 people smoked in the face, right? I think it's been 2.
Yeah.
2 people with pretty serious hits in the face. Like, they need the grip. It's not. Exactly. It's not Clyde Drysdale or whatever from the 1902 Pawtucket whatever is like throwing 42-mile-an-hour ducks out there, right?
Yeah, exactly. You guys are throwing. I mean, like,
well, yeah, these guys are throwing
relief guys. You should just be relief guys, or maybe Nolan Ryan that would crack, triple digits. But I mean, all these guys are cracking triple digits now, and it's a control thing.
If you think about it, I was just looking at today's velocities. I mean, some of these pitchers they're throwing over 100 and 102 miles an hour. They were throwing that today. I mean, you want 100 miles an hour. It's like, it's almost like getting smacked by a car going 100 miles an hour. You can survive that? It's like, yes or no? So I mean, they need something that needs a little control, on the ball, especially during the summer. I mean, summers are going to be hot. Especially up here, up in our states, where you get that humidity. You're freaking your clothes are sticking to you. So I mean, they need something that's going to, help them control that ball well.
Yeah, it's an outdoor game. I mean, this isn't climate controlled NBA. This isn't climate controlled NHL. I mean, I don't know. I think it's dumb, but they have it out for Scherzer. That's why he reminds me so much, with the talent level, like kind of the attitude. He reminds me so much of Curt Schilling. I love Curt Schilling when he was the ace with the Diamondbacks and Phillies back in the day. So good for Scherzer. Like, keep sticking it to him, boy.
Right.
Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that old Christmas commercial with the Clydesdales.
Do you want Don Drysdale or Bud Clydesdale?
How about neither? Because I don't drink beer anymore, so we're good. But
we do the strong stuff.
Yes, tequila. But onto some other quick news. We got Mad Bum. He's he got what, sent down or?
Yep, he's DFA'd. He's done. Designated for assignment. Gone. Get out of here.
Madison Bumgarner?
Yeah. The bum himself.
Shit, he is.
You're out of here. You fucking leave. You go. And they bought out his contract, $37 million.
Yeah.
I thought I heard somewhere that his contract is more than the Reds starting rotation combined.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Question. Okay, I'm gonna ask Donovan. I'll get Jay's opinion too, but does he have anything left? Like, Springs went down for the Rays. Like, the Rays could use another starter. Is that even in consideration, or is this guy just shot? Like, does he have could he any rotation in baseball, could he crack the top 5 or 6? Like,
let me tell you this. Dallas Keuchel pitched a game last year, and if Dallas Keuchel could come in and pitch for a team, Madison Bumgarner will find his way on a squad. It will happen.
Hey, maybe he can go pitch for the A's. They need some pitching because it sounds like they're doing very horrible.
Yeah. And they're bringing their starters out of rotation too. That's in our news.
But
yeah,
I guess I could have put that in the scroll too. Speaking of the A's real quick, guys, did you hear about the Vegas stuff?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I seen a little bit about that.
What a bad move.
I don't know. Is it a bad move?
I don't know if they get a climate control because they're gonna need it. I mean, it's 110 degrees in Vegas all the time, but like they get a climate controlled indoor stadium, like a state of the art stadium, and Vegas is willing to fund it. I mean, the look at the Vegas Knights in the NHL; they've done damn good. Raiders, I think they'll get their shit fixed. I think the Raiders will be good soon. I can't think of the other sport. Maybe it's a WNBA team that moved there, but yeah, I mean, there's. Maybe the Aces I'm thinking of, but yeah, I think it's a good move because they're dying a slow death. I mean, they're always in the bottom 5 in payroll in baseball. It's been like that, as long as I've been watching, since I was a kid. They've always been in the bottom 5. I mean, they're the Moneyball team, right? I would just say, bring it on. I hope they leave. Honestly, and I think Jamie's in agreement. I think you leave next year. Say fuck them. They don't want to build. Oakland doesn't want to. They lost the Raiders and they're going to lose the A's too. I think the A's have a better future in Vegas, and it's got a catchy name, the Las Vegas A's or the Vegas A's. I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I think they're due for a change. I mean, I know the Raiders GM or head guy. He is all like, that's a dumb move. Just keep him in Oakland because the Oakland Raiders, and all that stuff. Try to keep something there. But I mean, you got Los Angeles Angels. You got the Dodgers out there. I mean, they're a little bit better off than the A's and whatnot. I think the A's just need a nice, different environment to kind of uprise their spirits a little bit. Maybe try to grab get some more people that way, and maybe the A's will be the next top team.
And get a bigger payroll. I mean, that's the biggest thing is the Pirates and Rays are bottom 5 and they're competing this year. But I mean, on the flip side, look at the Reds. The Reds are pathetic. A's are pathetic. Like certain teams just can't compete. The Royals are horrible this year. Like certain teams just can't compete. You go to Vegas and they could probably have a top 10, top 15 payroll. You know what I mean? Which would help. Different ownership and down the line, and you keep the logo. I mean, this is a proud franchise, man. I mean, the 1970s. I mean, you think of the A's and Reds, and so I don't know. I think it's a good idea, and it could be, and it could have a ring to it. A couple years, 2024, 2025, we'll get used to it. Like Las Vegas Raiders. That's rolls off the tongue now, and versus a couple years ago, or the A's when the A's weren't. They were the California Angels, and they went over to the Anaheim Angels. So eventually we'll get used to it.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit. That team does not have a lot of talent on it from anywhere, and like I just don't. Hey, let's fly out on a cheap flight to Vegas to catch a A's game.
Jamie.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go.
You might go to watch the Packers and the Raiders.
I'll get lost and drunk again in downtown Vegas. And
I'm probably not going to watch the Brewers and the A's in Vegas, but you know what I'm saying? Like, football market makes sense there because you got 2 types of destination. I just personally don't know if you fly to Las Vegas to gamble and watch baseball. It just
and it's a place where you sports gamble. That's the biggest place to go gambling, man.
Gamble, and if it's a nice, not some shithole ballpark, but like a state of the art. If they do it right, it could be an experience. You know what I mean?
So maybe the incentive is that you get everybody there to bet against the A's, and then the house finds a way to Pete Rose the situation, and the next thing you know, it's a nice investment.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I just
just keep talking, man.
I don't know what happened. I'll just keep talking through this.
But anyways, somebody says the limit on the A's payroll won't change the team if it moves. I mean, you never know. And he also says the limit of
to an extent, yeah. But I mean, they'll generate money and maybe they'll pocket it all. Maybe these are just the worst owners in sports. Who knows? But you'd like to think that some different revenue source would. Yeah, no, I mean you have a point, but there's only hope. I mean, if I'm an A's fan, be like a Reds fan. If they told me the Reds were going to move to Vegas, I'd be like, hell yeah, sign me up. Yeah. Let's go. We're not doing dog shit in Cincinnati. So, any small market team that's not doing anything and is dead, if Las Vegas is offering you what they're offering, I take it.
Yep. But anyways, on to the next couple things here. Loki's going to play some shortstop, so hopefully he can get some of that availability added to his team stats. And then Fujinami, I guess he's going back to the bullpen. So the nice little stint of Fujinami, I said after Saturday, I went, kaboom, see you later.
Dropped him.
I airmailed his ass back to Japan. That's what I did.
So there was a lot of talk about Fujinami, whether or not he could hold up as a starter, and I guess we found out pretty quick.
I was good. So last Saturday was the last stint, and I'm like, yep, nope, I'm done. I dropped him right after and picked somebody else up. So
yeah.
And then we got other big, huge news. Quick is Taj Bradley is got sent back down the minors. I actually had him in my lineup today too. Now that fucks up my today's lineups. Good God.
First world problems.
Yeah.
Right. I started looking and I was before we got on. I was like, what? Taji was sent down the minors. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. And no shit. And I was not happy about that because, I picked him up in a few spots, and now I'm just like, now it kind of messes up all my rotations and everything. But yeah, it's
when you got Zach Efron though pitching.
Yeah, I'll have to look. See, I'll have to find some different people now for sure. If you have an NA spot, I guess I would hold on to Tajay if you can, and then and just hope for the best. Hopefully, he comes back in a month or so. But what we forgot to do is recap some of our weeks real quick. So I mean, I already know how my week went.
Dandy phone here. Let's see damage. Let's see the damage.
So Eli,
I know we played each other in the 20-man league, Jay.
Yeah, and just to say that you need to just put a big, nice, fat L on your forehead for us on live stream.
It was actually wasn't too bad of a. He killed me in runs, killed me in homers, ribbies.
Yeah, no, it got pretty. At first, I was leading pretty. I was, overall, I had you for maybe most of the week, and then it came down to nitty gritty toward the weekend. So it kind of came down to the end. So it was a pretty close matchup.
The offense you smacked me around pretty good, but I got you with the pitching. Pitching kind of held it up where it was a competitive matchup, but
yeah, you kind of.
I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, Jamie ended up winning 9-7 in our 20-man Yahoo matchup. So it's always good. It's always good when we go at it. So it was
sweet. Yeah, I know because I was looking and I know you had more holds than I did, and it was just some of some of the guys. In some of these leagues, I actually had to drop a few guys and try to get some holds into my stat categories. So I picked up a few guys, especially in my Rogan league. I ended up winning again. So I mean, I've kind of on a roll right now. So I'm gonna try to keep that going. So I think this week might be a little bit of a challenge for me. But other than that, I had a pretty good week. Lost in my couple 10-mans, so that was kind of a bummer. Even though the guys I liked, and it just didn't really produce as much as I would have liked them to do. And then I have to say I'll take a nice big L to Donovan at the end in our points league because, yep.
You had me all week.
You did.
I had those two streamers that I picked up on Sunday. I had Vince Velasquez and Eduardo Rodriguez, which, wow, how did that work out? But they pitched phenomenal, and they were on my side, and I owe them.
Yeah,
I took home the W.
Yeah, it was.
There's nothing you could have done, really.
No.
It's stream and gamble or hope that I fall on my face. That could have turned just as easy as it,
Most definitely. Like what was I going to say here? I picked up a random guy from the St. Louis Cardinals, in my 20-man league, and it was funny because he actually gave me a dub, which was crazy. I'm like, what? All right, well, I guess I'll kind of hang on to him to kind of see how he does. But I mean, yeah, overall, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, pretty much took some L's in my ESPN leagues. I mean, my ESPN leagues, I don't really care too much, but I mean, it's just, I look at it as more a perspective when it comes to like the ESPN leagues, just kind of more of a see what happens and kind of see what happens from Yahoo to ESPN. So it's just one of those things I kind of use ESPN for,
Yeah, I'm riding in second in both my money leagues, which is always good to be in second in. I got the first in that points league. That was you and I were the battle for first. So
yeah,
I took one in the shorts in the Joe Rogan league though. I went from like 4th place down to 13th. I think I was like, I lost 1-14 that week. I couldn't like nothing. Ooh. Nothing worked. My bats were dead. My pitching sucked.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm in second as well in the invitational. So
yeah,
doing all right.
Yeah, I bumped up a little bit in our invitational, so I'm up. I think I moved up just a little bit, so I'm hoping for another rebound and gonna try to keep moving up at least. So
1, 2, 3. I think I got 1 first right now and 4 seconds, and so that's not bad. I'll take it. Other leagues that I was playing above my ski or in front of my skis, I'm starting to return to normality. My 30 team keeper league is starting to turn back to normal.
that must be interesting. It must actually be like running would it be like running a professional team? Because most of the time when we do our keepers for football or wherever, it's 12, 16, team league, 14 team leagues.
Yeah.
So how is that? I've never done a 30 team or.
It's intense. So salary caps, minor leagues, you can call up and send a guy down 3 times. If you send him down the 3rd time, you got to cut him. Just it's fairly Brian Reynolds just got a contract extension, so you have the ability to pick up that same contract, so it's very involved and very intense, and there's not a lot of movement on the waiver wires. It's all through free agency. So if there is a rookie that nobody had, which is rare because you have such large farm systems that everybody can bid on that player if they have the cap room. So yeah. It's interesting. Trades aren't as easy because if the player that you want makes $12 million, then
you got to match him up. Yeah.
You got to figure out how to move $12 million. So like I know in the beginning of the year, people were offering to take Joey Votto off my hands, but trying to get like Jose Ramirez. We'll take Jose Ramirez from you and Joey Votto to clear your cap space, and I'll give you these 2 schmucks back. But so I ended up just cutting Votto and paying him half his salary.
That was a good move because he just got hurt from what I was reading. This might be the end. I think this is last season. It could be an injury plague, so that was probably a smart move on your part.
But he was like, I don't remember at the time, $20 million or something. So it's like, well, I got to cut him. So I'm on the hook for $6.25 million the next 2 years on his contract on my team, but
gotta eat it.
Otherwise, he ate up $18 million of my cap space and would do me absolutely no good. So it's a very interesting league. It's very deep, and my mind spins every time I think about it.
Oh no!
Oh God! And with all that, now there's new news.
He's got that distant look at the dinner table.
What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
Yes, but anyways,
what happened?
That's gonna be
Did you just get a nude or something on your phone? What's going on?
Nope, that's gonna be a YouTube short right there.
Okay.
Got me excited. I was like,
Yeah. I don't know what you guys are missing or what you guys missed or whatever I missed because I was just
hubba.
I was adding
hubba.
something to the show. So, but yeah, I think we should get into a little temp check,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
and
Let's
kind
go.
of go from there, shall we? Uh-oh. Eli's getting ready, getting in. He must be getting in
Oh,
form.
there it
He's like, yeah, dude.
So I get
you know
ready
what?
for a temperature check. I got Nurse Jackie. She's showing up. She's gonna throw those voluptuous breasts in my face. Give me a little temperature check.
Now.
It might end up looking like Mr. Freeze's room if I get a cold check, but I mean this is definitely the hot check.
I think you need to get some. Your next tattoo's got to be one of those glow in the dark ones when you turn your red light on. All right, who's
planned ahead.
So who's going first?
Oh man. Well, you know what? I'll go first here. Ah, yes, my main man, Marcus Semien. He's been having a pretty good year. I know a couple years ago, I know he made the All-Star team in 2021, and a few years before that, a good year with the A's. So, solid year. He was taken in the second round. I had in our invitational league, so just as a reference point, if I had that correct. But yeah, I think he's in the last week. He was the third overall rated guy in batting. So. With all the statistics added up. So that's kind of a misnomer because some of those don't look very impressive for, the full scope of the season, almost a month now. But yeah, the last week he's been tearing it up. So I thought I'd show him a little love and, throwing up some points in Yahoo and ESPN there. So yes, I mean, I don't know if he can hit, like 2 years ago, he had 45 home runs. I don't know if he can get back to that level, but I mean, if he could hit 30 homers this year, I think that'd be a damn good season.
Yeah, he was. He was a second rounder.
Yep, if I had that right.
Yeah,
and a guy that I remember, when I used to watch more frequently and was more involved. He's on the flip side. He's ice cold. Colton Wong, ice cold. Never been known for. I remember him. He was a Gold Glove infielder. Really good player with the Cardinals. Had a couple decent years with the Brewers too, as Donovan would know. But yeah, he was traded to the Mariners in the offseason and been doing horrible. Yeah, I could do a week check. I could do a 2-week check. I could come in here with some ice cubes. I got some ice cubes in my freezer and do a cold check there. He's ice cold. 8 for what kind of number? If he wasn't Colton Wong, former 2-time Gold Glove winning infielder, he would be sent down in the minors. If this was a young guy, he'd be out of here. As bad as and he's still the starting second baseman. This Mariners team is not bad. I could see them maybe upgrading at the trade deadline, in the summertime, or trying to ship him out or get an upgrade because he's right now he's just awful.
Maybe they need to make Crawford the second baseman.
Good, yeah, anything. I mean, this guy, yeah, and this is a guy. I always reference, guys I remember, but I mean, it's skewed now. I mean, Bumgarner, I guess, is he's designated for assignment. I guess a couple older guys coming up too when we do our some free agent talk, guys to maybe pick up. So, but yeah, Colton Wong letting everybody down, but
I just know last year. I mean, I had Wong off and on a little bit because I mean he wasn't bad last year. I mean he would have
decent, from what I saw with the stats. Yeah, he was decent last year.
Yeah, he has because I
there was smart to move off him.
Probably were too. It's kind of like, oh no, we're done with you now, boy. We'll ship you to Seattle where you see snow.
Going back to Semien quick, the last 2 years, he played 162 and 161 games. In 2020, he played 53 games, and the year before that, 162. And 2018, the guy's a pillar of health,
workhorse.
Yeah, right. I mean, 747 plate appearances, 724, 724. Like the guy averages 700 plate appearances and pretty much a year. And yeah, you say a 30 home run guy. I think that's exactly what he is. 45 was an anomaly, and he had just a phenomenal year, and it sent his stock through the roof. And now we're paying for that, but I think we're getting what we're paying for out of him still. And I'm just looking at last year. Last year he only had 26 home runs, so figuratively a down year compared to what we remembered from 2019, the happy fun ball year. And 2021 was another good year with the 45 home runs, but he was a league leading 10 sacrifice flies. So
Wow.
a career high as well, 10 sacrifice flies. So like if you take a couple of those long fly balls that probably got caught near the warning track and put a little less angle on it, like were those 5 more home runs? Was he a 30 home run guy? Probably. He was probably a 30 home run guy. So he averages, it says 4 strikeout or 4 sacrifice flies a year. So he hit 10 last year. So we'll give him 6 more. He was at 32 home runs then.
So that's why Donovan's, you know what? Because he's teaching me stuff. That's a good point. Even if a few of those sac flies turn into homers, it's like
that's all he missed. Yeah, he just missed. Yeah. That's all. He just missed it.
Yeah. Yep. So he had 33 and 19 and 45 2 years ago. So yeah, I agree. So, but his stat line right now, like batting 292 and some of the other categories, prorate like an RBI total over a season, OPS. I think all that's sustainable. I think what the average is right now. I think that's all. I think he can hit 290. That's not crazy.
History says no, but I could starting off this hot. I don't see why he couldn't stay 275. So, which is still really good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna hit a little rough patch. Everybody does.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, especially with more of the elite, higher end guys, they might dip a little bit, but I'm sure maybe the summer they might dip a little bit, and then this fall it gets a little bit cooler. I'm sure their numbers will come up just a little bit more. So I mean, if one wanted to trade Marcus Semien for somebody, would he be comparable to like try to get like an Aaron Judge, who's not doing that hot?
But I still don't think they're going to pull the trigger on that. No. Aaron Judge, nobody will trade you because they're what if factor. What if I trade him and he goes off?
And he hits 60 homers again. You know what I mean?
It would still be Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge plus.
Has that possibility.
Yeah. I'm just asking. Yeah. Asking for a friend.
I would say the only way is you're going to move Judge is if that person had a desperate need at second base.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be Semien plus, but
yeah. All righty.
Good thinking though.
Right. Hey, I just thought I'd ask him if he's going to be hitting, maybe they do for like a 2-for-1 or something, so the kind of that, if that guy's losing Judge, kind of get, 2 guys for that almost equal out to Aaron Judge or something like that.
Watch all the Aaron Judge teams, and if someone goes down with an injury, that's when you prey on the weak.
Prey on the weak, huh?
Prey on the weak.
Got fucking Charles Darwin here. What do you got? What do you got?
Drew Smyly. Oh, he has all the hotness right now, isn't he? Everybody wants some Drew Smyly. So I think last week we talked a little bit about why it's just a little too early to start, basing a pitcher's season, projecting out a pitcher's season on where they're at right now. A, it's cold in a lot of places. And B, it's just early. They just got done with spring training and they're still working on stuff. But Drew Smyly went out and had just a phenomenal game last week. Almost had a perfect game. And well, that didn't work out so hot for him. I'm sure everybody's heard about or saw the clips. But I just did a little bit of research here. And I got to pull my screen here on Drew Smyly.
I don't think I mean I haven't
So-
really paid too much attention to him too much, I guess, because I don't have any shares of him. So
Oh, he's in my he's on my bench in the 20-man invitational if one of you boys wants to try to make a dealio. As is Jonah Heim, who we talked about last week. So
That guy I like.
just say it. Just say it. You know,
Jonah Heim, number one catcher.
hey, I'll trade you.
I'm open for business.
I'll trade you Melendez for your catcher for catcher.
That's what she said.
So before his phenomenal game that he pitched the other night, he had 3 games under his belt, 15 innings, 15.1 innings. He gave up 15 hits, 8 runs, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts. So his ERA was 4.70 and his WHIP was 1.32. After his start, he ends up at 23 innings, 16 hits, gave up no runs, so he's still at 8, no walks, so he's at 5, and now 20 because he had 10 strikeouts, so 23 strikeouts. But his ERA jumps in this one outing down to 3.13, and his WHIP to 0.91. So that's like, a 0.4 turnaround on a WHIP and a 1.6-ish turnaround on the ERA. Now, that's just goes to show that there was talk last week about Lance Lynn and all these pitchers, and they're gonna have a high ERA all year or whatever. Like, it's still early, and one outing, which this was a phenomenal outing, but it just shows how quick that can flip. Now, temperature check for Drew Smyly. Success rates for going out after long games like that, when they pitch full games, the next starts generally don't go nearly as well, right? Because they're probably not going to pitch 2 perfect games in a row. But that's a lot of tax on the arm. Drew Smyly's not known for pitching 32 games and 200 innings, so I would watch out for Drew Smyly's next start. I know he's been a hot pickup. Drew's average season, he's generally sits around a 4.08 ERA and a 1.26 WHIP. So we know that that's probably going to regress from where he's at now. So I would think I'm off of Drew Smyly, even though we missed a phenomenal one. But I guess I've been proven wrong before. I just didn't. When I looked into Drew Smyly, I just didn't see it in his history that he's going to be this knockout pitcher that everybody wants. That's Drew Smyly.
Interesting.
I don't like him. He's a bum. And he's a Cub, so that's
Put a smile on your face, Donovan. Smiley.
Well, that's right. You have one more guy to talk about,
one
don't
more. Yes, sir. Thyroid.
Thyroid. That's in my. It's in my. Is that in your balls?
I think you may have balls by your thyroid. I don't know, but
I'm gonna put my balls in his thyroid.
You nasty.
Anyway, Thairo Estrada. He had a pretty, I would call it a breakout year last year. He was a relative, I don't say he's unknown, but to the average player, nobody knew who Thairo Estrada was. I, of course, was on him and enjoyed having him last year for his 14 home runs and 21 stolen bases. So primarily when I pick my teams, I play a lot of head-to-head teams. And when I put together my head-to-head teams, I have all the Thairo Estradas. I want 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases. That's how I build all my teams. I try to get every single position or some variation so they average out, so that every week I have a chance to win any category. So Thairo has always been someone I've looked at because of that balance that he brings. And guess what he's doing this year? Well, you see it down there, but 4 home runs, 5 stolen bases. His batting average is way up, probably not sustainable, but plays for those scrappy little Giants, and guy's hot. He was a value pick this year. I don't recall where his ADP was, but If you had the cojones to grab Thyroid, you're doing well. I like him. He's hot.
What about the steals? You mentioned he has 5 steals. Like, is that somewhat sustainable? Is he going to be
yeah. So last
35
year,
steal guy?
I think he has the ability to. Yeah, he'll probably be a 35 stolen base guy this year. 30, 35. He had 140 games last year and stole 21. So with the bigger bases, he should have. He'll probably have 25 to 30. Yeah. Yep. Potentially 20 home runs as well. 15 to 20. So
nice.
These guys are right here are the later round guys that I will reach for because I know what he will give me every year exactly what I want.
Yeah, I think I have one share of Estrada somewhere. I just don't know where exactly, but I think I think it's an ESPN. I think I do got one share of him somewhere at least. But yeah. Well, now on to my guy, Josh Jung. He's actually kind of, I was actually kind of looking here a little bit. Well, last night he had 2 dongs, which is crazy. I was actually looking at his last year's stats last year. So, last year he actually had 5 home runs last year. So he's already tied what he did last year already. And his strikeout rates were at 39. This year he's at 28, and last year he had 2 base stolen. This year he's already had 1. So I think his stat outcome from what he did last year will probably be up this year than what he did last year. He played 21 games last year, or 26 games last year. He had 98 at bats. He had 9 runs, 20 hits. He had 14 RBIs. So yeah, I mean, other than that, his stats are they'll probably double what he did last year already from what it looks like.
Yeah, strikeouts are down, batting average up, OBP up, slugging up, OPS up.
And I was looking at his when he faces he's actually got 3 homers versus lefties. So I'm thinking if you get a nice lefty pitcher, he might hit a dong off one of those guys. So his OPS is actually high off lefties. And the other cool thing here too is he looks like he actually plays a little bit better at home and during the night. So he's actually plays better when it's nice and cool from what it looks like. So I think he's for a guy that maybe went undrafted. I know he's actually in smaller 10-man leagues. He's not drafted at all.
Well,
he's still out there.
That's not going to bode well for him this summer in that Texas heat. It's 100 degrees every day, so maybe his numbers will start dip. Maybe now's the time to get on this guy and then get a hot couple month stretch out of him, and then move on and try to build up his value a little bit. Because 5 homer. How many at bats did he have last year, Donovan?
He was at 102 plate appearances, 98 at bats. So
he had at bat 98. Yeah, at bats he had 98, but his appearance probably a lot more. I was just looking at his at bats. So
he's exceeding what he did last year. He did go down last year with I think it was he had an injury. So I think he had torn labrum in his left shoulder is what it was. So that's what put him down. And it's good to see him come back. That his swing wasn't impacted by that shoulder surgery.
But here's one thing. So if he plays against Cincinnati, there's a good chance he'll hit a nice homer. He'll be on base a lot more. And with versus Kansas City and Baltimore, he had a nice OPS run there. So his other team's not so hot, but it looks like he had a nice play with against Cincinnati, KC, and Baltimore as well.
He was all the hotness last year. Top prospect. Everybody grabbed him when he came up. Then he had that injury, and he just kind of nobody knew what to expect this year, and
that's
paying off right now.
which is why he's still out there in waiver wires, and he's
Yeah.
not rostered too often. I know in deeper league, probably deeper leagues for sure.
Yeah,
Maybe he might be out there in some small 12-man teams too. If not, he's already been picked up. But I know smaller 10-mans, he's out there for sure. So if he's out there, you need a little kick to your roster. Take a look at Josh Jung.
Get a little kick.
Yes. So I think that kind of covers our temperature check segment, and yeah, I think we're kind of get into our main seg. What do you guys think?
Doctor, I'm feeling a little better now.
Are you? Well, that is great. I am glad to hear that, man. I recommend a little hard tequila afterwards. You'll feel
tequila.
You'll feel.
Once we get to sleep, I'll probably have a little bit before bedtime.
There you go. With all that hard work you've been doing.
I know, man. Yeah. All 7 days. I feel like him. I worked all 7 days last week. I felt like Jamie does that all the time. He doesn't, but yeah, putting in them hours, putting in that work. Just what? Were we gonna get to some strikeouts, or do you want me to hit on a couple free agents, or?
Yeah, let's hit on a couple free agents quick, and then we can get into our.
Yeah, I figured while we're cut you off, but I figured while we were on the topic, you guys were mentioning, hey, pick Josh Jung and kind of picking people up here, transition into that, and see what we got for the listeners. Oh, it's a Matt Carpenter sighting. Oh man, look at that stash! Look at that thing. See, I can't pull that off.
That's one hell of a cookie duster, man.
That is cookie duster.
Yeah.
So he's kind of been moving around the league recently. I remember him back in the day with the Cardinals, and but he's been on a tear the last few weeks. Guy's 37 years old, almost 38. Had 2 homers last week within the last week, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, picked up 27 points was the average between Yahoo and ESPN that I found, and only 2% rostered. So you definitely go and pick him up. And this is specifically for 15 or more teams, like the deeper leagues. Donovan was mentioning his 30-man. We do a 20-man, 16-man, leagues like that. You probably find him in. And then my pitcher, Rich, another old guy, 43-year-old Rich Hill. I remember him too. I'm an NL Central guy. I'm a Reds fan. So I remember him with the Cubs. This is nostalgia for me. And I saw him. He was 2-0 last, within the last 7 days. ERA under 2, 14 strikeouts over 11 innings pitched. So over a strikeout per inning, which is impressive, especially for a guy his age. 2 quality starts there. He's only 3% rostered. So both these guys are under 5% rostered. So they'll be there. I mean, they'll be there in 20-man, 16, a bunch of variety of leagues. And I think both might help you out in the short term. I mean, obviously they're older. I don't think they can sustain any of this, not even close. But for the meantime, and they might have another stretch later in the season. The Pirates are playing great right now. So, Rich Hill is definitely going to get starts this year for show. And these are some free agents to look at.
Well, I'm sorry to say that I already got shares of Rich Hill already. Before you even mentioned it.
You're a smart man. You jumped the gun.
That's what you get when you're just looking at that waiver wire and like, all right, let's take a wing at this guy, see what happens today. And I was impressed. Let's just put it that way.
Surprisingly, with baseball, there's more hidden gems than you think. In football, especially running backs in deeper leagues, it's trash. You're going to have a hard time. But baseball, you can pick up a relief pitcher, you can pick up a catcher, you can pick up a low end starting pitcher. There's guys out there in deeper leagues. So absolutely,
yes,
always be on the look.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I'll be a gentleman. Donovan. Donovan, if you would like.
I'm not scared.
All right, guys, we're gonna get into our strikeout segment, so bear with us.
Yeah, so I guess we wanted to look at the batters who are being struck out by the pitchers at a seemingly high rate. So I think strikeouts are up overall this year so far. And we just kind of wanted to dig in a little bit to the correlation between some of the players, or I kind of didn't go as quite at the top, but Christian Yelich grabbed my attention. And I wanted to dig into him because I don't really remember him as a big strikeout guy. And I was right. I looked back. So on the year so far this year, he's 29% of his plate appearances are ending out in a strikeout. And looking back throughout, his career percentage is about 22%. So out of every 100 times he comes to the plate, 22 times he was striking out over his career. And I look back at his stats and I'm seeing this slowly creep up. And so I suppose when you stop rubbing the lotion on the skin, you get the hose again, is the moral of the story here. But so I don't know if it's the not using the steroids or not, but I looked also at his launch angle, which is his degree of his baseball bat through the zone. That only went up by 1.1% from last year, but that could be just enough to raise your strikeouts from 24% to 29%, I suppose, as you normally want to swing, the same way. So the trajectory of your bat would come, like we teach everybody in Little League, and that you're going to swing straight through. We want them hitting hard line drives because they don't have their man muscles yet. But as they gain their man muscles now, you pitch that bat up and you swing with launch angle. Most people are around 10 to, we'll say, max 20% angle on their bat, and those end up being your higher strikeout guys, which we'll talk about a little here. But so moral of the story is Christian Yelich's K rate is up, and he's done. I don't want anything to do with him anymore. And that really sucks.
Well, send him my way. I'll take him off your hands.
I don't think I have him on any team. But, I think his golden years are behind him. The only time he really excelled in the home run department was when he was using steroids, and it was Happy Fun Ball era. And
so was that last year?
Wait, was it him and Braun? Is that who I'm thinking of, or was he after Braun?
Braun was the original one. But
yeah, he was the original. Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
You Brewers.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of weird stuff is going on over in Wisconsin.
He was never caught, but Yelich was never caught. But
I think it's something in the cheese.
Braun was a steroid guy. But no, his last big season was Happy Fun Ball season for home runs, and he's had a drastic decline in the power and uptick in the strikeouts. I'm done with him on any of my teams, and I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Francisco Lindor. So yeah, he was one that historically has a very low strikeout rate. 16% is his career strikeout rate. This year he's at 27%.
Ooh, that's high.
Yeah, so that really grabbed me for such a good hitter overall. That really kind of grabbed me, and that's why I wanted to bring him up. So I mean, we got some horny people out there.
Hey,
who's beeping?
I don't know.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Francisco Lindor. Like I said, he's only had 2 seasons in his entire career where he struck out over 100 times, and he's not seeing the ball well right now. Batting average is way down, strikeouts are way up. I don't know what to think about it. He'll return to normality, but
well, maybe he needs to get some glasses like me. He can actually maybe see the ball a little bit then.
Jamie is a genius. I agree. If he, we should market these. We should, once we get a website, sell those shades, sell Lindor repair.
Bob will buy some.
And that K rate's going to go skyrocket back down to where it usually is, about 20%. All right. Foolproof, Donovan. Break that down.
There we go.
Bob will buy some too.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Bob
Bob will airmail them to you personally. All right. Well, I guess I'll go next here. So, Max Muncy, he was actually drafted in a 7th rounder. So just a little bit out of our, top 5 roundish. That's kind of where most of the elite guys high-end guys kind of go roughly. And right now, Max Muncy surprisingly is actually, leading everybody in home runs. I really don't know where that came from, which is just insane. I mean, where's Aaron Judge? I can't believe that Aaron Judge is not even up here. I mean, I thought about doing him, but then it's kind of like, actually I should have done him. But Max Muncy, he was honestly he's kind of like a waiver guy in a lot of these smaller leagues. You can go out and pick him up and whatnot, and so I was kind of surprised to see Max Muncy with with his production that he's already doing, with his plate appearance, at 90. His strikeout rate's 29%. So that's not too bad. It's not high, but it's the next couple of guys we're talking about, it sounds like it's kind of high, but overall his career rate is 24%. So I mean, up a little bit. Like Donovan mentioned, there's a lot of guys that are kind of up right now and whatnot. I think Aaron Judge will probably be even higher than this, I'm sure, with his bad plating right now. But overall, I'm a little fan of Max Muncy. So if you guys want some homers and whatnot, yeah, go out there and get Max Muncy. He looks like he's playing well right now.
Yeah, I would say for Max, because he's still hitting home runs, he's got 11 home runs. You can absorb the 29% strikeout rate, and he's a career 24% strikeout rate guy. Last year he had 25%. So there's a good chance that as the season goes on, he'll regress a little bit, strike out a little less. Maybe he won't get as many home runs. And that could be part of it, is that maybe he's trying to hit more home runs right now. But I don't know. He's also has a 20.4 degree launch angle this year. So he's got that uppercut swing. And once you get above 20, you're really limiting the amount of time your bat stays in the zone and decreasing the chance of contact with the baseball. But the result is a hard hit, long fly ball. So
you said uppercut. I was thinking about Sagat from Street Fighter, and I was like, he wasn't hitting any home runs. Max Muncy's hitting them home runs. Okay, one before you go out quick. Muntz, how many points does get back home to? Oh God. I think Muncy can get 40 homers. Is that Donovan? Is that crazy? Like he's gonna come
crazy. He's got power.
He's gonna regress back. He's got. I can hit 40, 20, maybe what 26, 27% strikeout rate. Because you said everybody was up a few percentage. So
yeah,
if he was 24, 25, it's probably up a few.
I don't think everybody, but a large majority of people. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, 35, 36. He's been close before, so there's no reason he can't hit 40. And if he's at 11 through 20 in 22 games, there's no reason he can't hit 40.
Oh yeah, he's projected for like 70 if at that rate. But yeah. Definitely.
But yeah,
it's good.
Somebody says, "Woof, Miller is getting slaughtered." So if you guys had any A's pitchers with that nice handy Miller, looks like I'm glad I didn't pick him up anywhere or even started him in my DFS lineups tonight.
And I'm glad that he's not talking about me.
Hey, or me.
Yeah.
Too many Millers.
Yeah, we got Miller time going on there.
Right?
It's always Miller time.
It is. Man, this is crazy. We're talking about a lot of Rangers guys tonight. Isn't that a quinky dink?
Oh, they're doing well, man. They're in first place.
Yeah.
They've turned it around.
Yeah. But yeah, another guy, Adolis Garcia, is another guy. He was actually drafted in the 4th round in our invitational, and I was just kind of curious to see. And Yeah, he's got 7 home runs, 28 RBIs. His strikeout rate is 22%. But I think that it looks like it might be down a little bit from what his career is. So he must not be swinging the bat as often as he would be, because his career K rate is 29%. So maybe he's got a little bit more plate discipline this year, which is kind of nice. Other than that, over his, I was looking at his career homers. It looks like he probably, I think he's projected for 30 homers this year, roughly ish.
Yeah, he's a 30 home run guy for sure. Yep.
Is he? Yeah, because last year he had 27. The year before that, 31. So he should peak at 30-ish, 32 maybe, if it keeps his pace up. Maybe before the year's over with. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I'm a little fan of Garcia. I mean, I know he's probably out there. You're not out there in leagues, but maybe you could trade for a guy like him or something like that. Who, I guess, if one wanted to or could, but who would you try to trade? Like, who could you use for bait to try to trade for a guy like him? Because I was also looking at base steal. Well, he's actually, I was gonna look at his projections too, as far as what he was projected for base steals, because it looks like is he a 20 base steal guy too as well?
Yeah, he was 16 stolen bases in 2021 and 25 last year.
Yeah, he's only got one. Yep, he's only got one so far this year too as well. So
I think if you can get somebody who believes that he's not stealing bases anymore, if you can sell them that,
this guy's like a 25 steal, 30 steal, 30 homer, which is, we're getting like elite, Mike Trout in his prime kind of stuff. Like, yeah, or you could con somebody in. Who are you thinking then? You kind of, like Jay was saying, if you can kind of con somebody into taking him.
Who am I dealing for him?
Yeah,
again, it would be, to me, it would be specific for the league I'm in, but let me. Yeah, I know you put me really on the spot here. So Garcia, he should be a my guy, right? Because he's a 30 type player, but for whatever reason, I never seem to own him. So this is a tough question for me.
Yeah, I think I got him in a few leagues. I think 1 or 2. I can't remember exactly, but I know I got a few shares of him for sure.
If you needed an outfielder,
Christian Yelich,
you could spin Marcus Semien for him right now, really easy. I think the draft capital, you were taking Semien in the second round, and it's that premium of second base. But I think if I were a Garcia owner, I would be trying to sell him. For try to get a Semien, who we just talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But Semien's numbers are pretty hot right now. I just don't know if you'd be able to spin that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. I think it's time for a little Eli.
Yeah. Bring it back. Bring it back. Got 2 guys. First one, established guy. Another one, rookie. Matt Olson. Big homer guy, A's, Braves, been doing the same thing. Strikeout rate, almost 36%. I mean, that's insane, even for him. I think that's going to come down eventually, but he's the only guy in the top 20 of, let me mention that he was a second-round pick in our invitational 20-man draft, so that's where that comes from at the top there. So, yeah, he was a high pick, but he was the only guy in the top 20 of, the strikeout guys that has a WAR of of 1. So, 1.0. So, he's got value, and the Braves are obviously in first place. So I don't think it's hurting the team. Power, he's not not crazy like Muncy right now, where he's knocking it all over the place, but got 6 homers right now, 20 RBIs, batting .267. A lot of that's sustainable over the course of a season. He hasn't done anything crazy, but it's going to be increments. I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot of the hot cold stuff that you see from some of these other guys. So OPS will come down a little bit too over the course of the year. But yeah, Matt Olson, see what he does. And yeah, this guy, I heard he's supposed to be like the next, Griffey or Bryce Harper. He's supposed to be the chosen one kind of thing. Not so far. I talked about Colton Wong being ice cold. This guy's ice cold too. Gunnar Henderson, the rookie third baseman from the Orioles, over 34% strikeout rate, and he's a rookie. That's to be expected. A lot of guys struggle their first month up in the bigs or their first year. So not going to write him off after a couple bad weeks, but yeah, definitely struggling right now. And the average is below 200, and not providing a lot. Luckily, the Orioles are playing damn good. They're right in contention with the Rays and Yankees and Blue Jays. That whole division's great, but I think Henderson, I don't know, in terms of, does this affect anything in terms of like keeper leagues, Donovan, or like, is this just kind of a blip, because he's new up to the bigs, or like what could you take, like, from fantasy wise, like what could you take from this in terms of like what you could do with his like movement, or if you need to send him back down if you keep struggling, like, you're allowed 3 of those in some of your leagues, like what would you do in like this circumstance?
I think in deep dynasties, like, his value is still going to be too high. The owner that has him, kind of like, I know what I have type of comment, right? In any redraft, like, he's possibly on the verge of getting dropped right now.
Yeah, this guy was a 5th round pick,
and that's totally insane. And I've seen stupid things already in some of my leagues where it's like, oh my God, how did that trade? Just some trades that are mind-boggling. But this is a guy that's seriously potentially going to be dropped. And so dynasty, just because anybody who had Gunnar Henderson in a deep dynasty, like I said, I know what I got, right? And yeah, a little bit, some kid came along and keyed the side of the car. That's what's going on right now. So now you got this Corvette with a big scratch down the side, right? And so it's not quite yet time to buy. But if he continues to struggle, and maybe I don't think they send him back down. Maybe they do. I don't know. But if he goes back down, and you're in a dynasty, I would be looking to buy, just because people are getting frustrated.
Because I remember, 2011, 2012, before Mike Trout became Mike Trout, I remember the Angels sent him back down. So I mean, it's not unheard of to send, the 5-star, all-world prospect back down to the minors. So it's not the end of the world. But I was just curious what your guys' thoughts were on him. As hyped as he's been.
I try to get prospects before they hit Gunnar Henderson hype, because I'm not willing to pay the farm for them, and you're still going to have to pay a premium on him because of the name that he built prior to this. But like I said, if he goes down, if they send him down, people will get nervous, and that is the time to buy.
Here's the crazy thing. If one waited on Josh Jung, who was actually taken in, I think he was taken, I just had it here, either the 10th or 12th round in our draft, he would actually give you some output compared to a guy who was drafted in the 5th round.
Yeah. There's quite a few stories like that, but yeah, and this one I was happy to see. I'm not happy to see his name and pick on him like this, but it's a very good case study. Yeah, and it happens every year. Every year there's someone that really hoses you over. 5th round isn't too harsh, it's those upper rounds, but 5th round, I mean, it still stings. And people were taking him because they said, I'm not willing to pay up for X, Y, or Z, these third basemen. I'm not willing to spend a 1st or 2nd round. I'm not getting caught in that third baseman wave because everybody's saying, my backup plan is to grab Gunnar Henderson, and then you get kicked on the, and then you get kicked when you're down on your knees. That's not good. So people could be nervous. If you have belief in him in a redraft, you can get him for a freaking used ham sandwich,
Yeah, pennies on the dollar. Hell yeah.
But yeah. So
we're gonna get your boy Garcia, man, leading the leading the league in RBI.
Yeah. So these graphics were updated from Sunday night to Sunday night. So so these were updated before any of the Monday's games. So you can see kind of who was runs batted in. So you can kind of tell Garcia's up there, Yordan Alvarez, Pete Alonso. So. Max Muncy's up in there, so you see a lot of there's a couple of Texas guys up in there, Marcus Semien, Garcia, so and Patrick Wisdom there up at the bottom. So I mean, you can see that there's quite a few guys up in there. Then here's your home runs for the year. Max Muncy at 11, Pete Alonso already at 10, Patrick Wisdom up in there. So I mean, gives you a little bit of an idea there of who's all there. I mean, who's smacked some home runs already. Eli talked about Matt Olson. He's got 6 on the year. So James Ottman he's off to a hot start too as well. I mean, I've heard some speculations or talked about him a little bit, but and then our last one is base steals is not so hot so far, but I mean, Acuna up there with 12. He's got the most already. Jazz at 9, he's got 6. So you can just kind of see. I mean, he's still got Baltimore guys up there in the top 5 for, base steals. And the other guy, you got your Estrada down there too at 5 base steals. So you kind of see.
If you could just get a little power from Acuna, this guy would be the best player in the league. I mean, he's got the average, the steal. If just get a little bit of power, got the glove, he's like that close.
Yeah,
maybe some steroids. Maybe he calls up Wire, Bonds, Clemens, all those boys, and they set him right, because that's all he's missing is the power. This guy is elite.
Yeah. So everybody that's not in a live stream, in the podcast version, yes, we just tossed up some graphics from this last week with base steals, RBIs, and home runs. So if you actually want to check out these graphics, come on the YouTube side, check that link out, and look us up, and you can actually see these graphics on our stream. So
yeah, or they're in the Discord.
Yep, in the Discord as well. I usually post them there as well, and that's usually where they go first, is in the Discord, and so you can see. I'm going to try to work on getting those things done kind of weekly, Sunday night-ish, if I got the time to. I didn't do it last week, but so I figured I had a little time, get these crammed out, and it gives a nice little perspective of what's kind of going on, who's especially these base steals. Anthony Volpe, he's got 8. So I mean, I just heard something about the Yankees hardly having any base steals, and Anthony Volpe's got more steals than the Yankees team themselves. So then you got the A's guy down there, Urez, the guy we talked about a couple weeks ago, and he's got 5. So it's nice to kind of see who's some guys at the bottom.
Positive thing they got going on.
Right.
It's funny to see Tim Anderson still on there.
Yeah, I think by next week he won't be on here.
No, he shouldn't be.
He's healthy, he'd be leading the league.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that guy.
Yeah.
Every year.
All right. I just wanted to pop this up in here quick for everybody, and just a nice little touch to our ending of our show here. And yeah, I think it's time for some other. I think it's time for
one more segment. We got to close the book on this stream, boys. On this episode, we're gonna open up the book here, and I always save a little treat for the end. Everybody likes their ice cream, their pie. This is a baseball heavy stream. We're doing a little football here because it was big news, and I want to get these guys' opinion. Aaron Rodgers obviously was shipped to the Jets. We knew that. I mean, that's been all over the news the past couple days. And I predicted this about a month ago when me and Jay did a football stream. So I knew this was going to come. I just want to see what your guys' opinions are. Like, who won the deal, and like going forward, where do the Jets and Packers end up with their records? So Packers basically the Packers jumped up 2 picks. They got a second and a 6th round pick for this year, and then a conditional pick for 2024. And then the Jets obviously got Aaron Rodgers. They got the number 15 pick. So, move back 2 picks, which is good. I mean, they got to keep their first round pick, which they should have. Rodgers wasn't worth the first round pick, in my opinion. And a 5th round pick this year. So I think I'm a Jordan Love fan. I do. I think that this guy, I think he's going to be at least Ryan Tannehill, if not better. Which is a solid NFL quarterback. I think that's it, like his floor. So and you get some help there. They're going to move. They moved up a couple spots. Probably get an offensive lineman. 2nd round. Take a receiver. Maybe Addison or Quentin Johnston. Maybe one of those guys. The highly touted receiver falls. Packers could take another young guy there, or a tight end. Michael Maher might be available in the 2nd round, the kid from Notre Dame. So there's some options there. I don't know what the Jets are going to do. Maybe an offensive lineman with their pick. But I think it's an even trade. I like what the Packers got, and obviously the Jets needed an upgraded quarterback because of all the Zach Wilson nonsense and Mike White and other average guys. So I'll see what you guys think, and then we'll close the book.
Yeah, I can go. As a resident of Green Bay, Wisconsin, I could tell you that the feelings around here were very pro Rodgers leaving, I would say. It's funny how fast a fan base could turn on a quarterback, but it's also funny how easy he made it, So the deal itself, I'm with Eli. It's like perfectly fair. We have a damaged goods, overpaid quarterback, right? Like that's kind of becoming a cancer. And to ship him out and to get some value back out of it, it's a win-win for both organizations. He's going to go to the Jets and try to make it work. I don't know. I commented, I don't remember where I saw it, but I posted it somewhere. I think in Outerham, but there was a picture of Rodgers in front, Allen Lazard right over his right shoulder, and then I think Wilson,
Breece Hall, the running back.
Yeah, I don't remember the picture, but it screamed to me with Allen Lazard being in the front of the receivers that you're just going to see this. Aaron Rodgers only wants to throw to Lazard, and those poor rookie, those poor young wide receivers there in New York are just going to get shat on by him, and he's going to do his stuff. And I don't know. I don't know. I think though for both teams it's a win-win because the Jets needed a quarterback, the Packers need to get rid of theirs. So that's where I stand.
I guess I just honestly. It's probably good. This is good enough for the Packers. I think this maybe will give them a new leaf, just a new, what the heck am I wanted to say here? I guess a new
lease on life.
I think. Yeah, that, and maybe have a different, team look, a different, that, and just a different look to their team a little bit. Sure. Yeah, different look to their team, especially with younger people that want to fight or you want to get that grit, So I mean, just I just think that's going to help them in the long run, and I just think with the Jets overall, I want to see this team be a playoff contender this year. So that's what I want to see with the Jets with their wide receivers that they got now. I think it's a good outlook for them to actually get there. The defense is looking pretty damn good with Sauce Gardner. The running backs are looking good. Once they get Breece back, they shipped out Elijah Moore. So I mean, they're I think they could probably maybe get one more wide receiver if that can help them out or something like that, or pick some guys up in the free agency. And I think this team will be I think they'll be a contender this year. That's my take.
Yeah, they have a chance. I think both teams will be pretty much the same. I think they'll both finish maybe right around or above 500, but
I'm more excited for the Packers because I want to see what Love can do. I was impressed.
I think the entire offense will change now. I think the whole scheme of it, maybe people will be used like they should be used instead of forced to, I don't know.
Well, here's some.
You hate Aaron Rodgers. You hate him. You hate him. You hate him.
So here,
I used to love him.
Garrett
but I had to kill
Wilson,
him.
Garrett Wilson, or Christian Watson.
Garrett Wilson. This guy is this guy's Devontae. This guy is all world good.
I think
Aaron Rodgers is shot. Like
I think Garrett Wilson will end up, because if Aaron Rodgers does it right, I'm telling you, Alan Lazard's going to screw everything up over there. They're going to force feed him. They're going to force feed him footballs, and poor Garrett Wilson's going to be standing there going, "What about me?" You're going to piss him off, and he's going to leave. Oh, it's going to be a train wreck.
But yeah, I mean, I know it depends on. On Garrett Wilson, and it depends on if Watson falls. Maybe it might be on him too, but we'll see how the draft turns out first. So
I have a 32 team dynasty that the core of it was the Packers, and boy, did I get a lot of trade offers the last couple of weeks. Primarily because I have Rodgers and Love, and everybody wants Love.
Yeah.
Love, they all want Love. They want Watson. They want Dobbs, and they all have reasons, of why they should take my damaged goods off my hands.
Oh, good God.
Nobody wants Rodgers. Nobody wants Rodgers.
Well, probably after this year, he's probably, next couple of years, he's probably done. So
he's hosting Jeopardy again. That's what he'll be doing.
Right? Oh, all right, guys. Yeah, I think it's been a nice informal stream. This, nice, I think it's been fun. We've had some punchlines, we had some giggles, we had some cold brr, and we did some whoo, so I mean, yeah, so we had a lot of those. We had a nice everybody was active in the chat comments and whatever the hell you want to call it, the doom dang bang like downstreams or whatever the hell you want to call it. And but yeah, it was a great fun time. We had some questions about some rosters and whatnot. So yeah, we appreciate everybody. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, Google Pods, Apple Pods, all that fun stuff. Yeah, make sure our link for our Discords are actually in the descriptions. But yeah, make sure you follow Donovan. Make sure you follow Donovan at Spade and Seeds on Twitter. And we got Odd Rhythm at Fant on Twitter as well. It's still kind of a new, but yeah, other than that, I think that kind of covers everything, guys.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. And if you want to follow me, just come to my address. We'll
yeah, don't go there.
Do you want to put out a teaser for upcoming show?
Oh, maybe. So in the next couple of weeks, guys, stay tuned, because we're gonna have Joe from Rico from MLB Today. So he'll be joining us May 9th. So if you guys want to ask Joe some questions or be here, or join us in our nice little stream or whatever hell you want to call this, YouTube world, Twitter world, and Twitch world, he'll be here.
He's a smart man. He's a smart man, and he's Canadian. He's Canadian. So maybe he'll bring you some maple syrup.
Maybe, who knows? You have to ask him politely. You might have to airmail it to you, but anyways, yes, we'll be with Joe in a couple weeks from now. So yeah, come join us. Well, it should be fun, and we don't know what the topic's going to be yet, but we'll figure that out. So stay tuned, guys.
All
right, later, guys.
Deuces.
Peace.